Good afternoon. Welcome back. It is Thursday, June 1st, 2023. We enter our 6th month of doing this particular daily dose of birthdays and events. Started off, of course, January 1st. We'll continue this all the way through December 31st. And then we'll just kind of have to see what we do next year as a supplement. Only a couple of events on this day. There was zero races of any major ilk in the 1970s. That was a big surprise to me. Like the last one was in 68 and the first one was like in 80 or 81. And this is on the Racing Reference website. So nothing in the 70s. 1991 on this date, Todd Bodine wins his first career Busch Series race at Dover, Delaware for the C.C. Welliver team. And on this date, 1986, Darrell Waltrip wins at Riverside. This was a race where Terry Labonte had a bad crash. Not the one that seriously injured him, but he had another bad crash at Riverside where he flipped his car in turn 1 after backing into the wall. They had a few other spins in the last couple of laps. The race ended under yellow. Tim Richmond was leading, come out of the last corner, coming to the yellow. Darrell Waltrip passed him to take the race win. But this was the second race in what would be a 11 or 12 race streak that Tim Richmond either finished first or second, except 2 races. The Bristol night race he finished 6th. In the spring Michigan race he finished 15th. So Tim Richmond was on quite a tear in the 1986 season. I've got some birthdays with cards and a few without, which we'll touch on right quickly. Born on this date in 1926, passed away in 1989 of cancer, Mr. Darrell Derringer. Of course, Derringer was kind of a pioneer in NASCAR racing in the 50s and 60s. Had a handful of wins and was always a front runner. Former West Series driver Lance Hooper, born on this date in 1961. It's either 61 or 67. Can't read my writing. Shame on me. I know I have cards of this guy, and this is going to be one of those weeks where I'm going to find the cards 3 days after the fact. But born on this day in 1964, very versatile driver, has raced NASCAR, sports cars, Indy cars, and all over the world. But he doesn't sing for the Monkees, Davy Jones. And another person here born in 1969 on this date that I know I have a card of because I've came across it about 17 times in the last month. But lo and behold, it doesn't want to show up today. Ryan Pemberton, part of the famed Pemberton family. So let's go to the ones that we do have cards of. Born on this date in 1959, former F1 driver, Mr. Martin Brindle. Of course, this is part of that 1991, I believe, Pro Tracks. So there's some information there about Martin Brindle as of the 1991 season. Born on this date in 1944, former NASCAR car owner and father of current NASCAR official Chad Little and grandfather of Jesse, Mr. Chuck Little. So I only had the 92 black and 92 red max. I don't think he had many other cards. But there is little information about Mr. Little. Born on this date in 1943, has passed away a couple years ago. He's had 3 sons make it to the Xfinity level, and he actually raced in a race with them. I believe it was at Milwaukee in the mid-2000s. Mr. Jim Sauter. Jim did have 11 children. 3 of them that we talked about made it to Xfinity was Johnny, Jay, and Tim Sauter. But Jim was a very serviceable driver. He was an IROC test driver for many years. He raced competitively. I feel in the Cup Series he raced beyond his equipment. He had 4 top 10 finishes coming with the teams like, so here, 1981, he had a top 10 for J.D. Stacy. No, 82, I'm sorry, 1982. Then 1987, he had a top 10 for this team, the Mueller Brothers team at Charlotte. He had a 9th place finish in the World 600. Then in 1990, was it 89? Yeah, it was 89 at Rockingham. He had a top 10 for the Slender U team, Bob Clark Motorsports. And then also in 1989 at Watkins Glen for the Group 44 team owned by Bob Tullius. He had a top 10 of all places, Watkins Glen. So Jim did have 4 top 10s in his Cup Series career. Sorry, I was pulling those from memory. So if those were a little bit, the timing was off or whatever. And then our last birthday, born on 1948, talked about it the other day. Came within a skosh from getting his signature. If I would have had a Sharpie, I could have had it done, but I didn't have one on me. Former Indy 500 and IndyCar champion, Mr. Tom Sneva. This was back during near the end of his career when he was racing part-time with the Menard racing team. Glidden being one of the paints that the Menard team did. Of course, Menard was always with that Buick V6. Here's a picture of Tom, the gas man, when he was driving the 33 car with the Skull Bandit sponsorship. Is this the 85 card? 86. So there's his 85 results. Finished 7th in the points. He did not have a win in 85. So he got a 2nd place at Milwaukee. That was his strongest track. He was always a contender there. But anyway, I hope you guys enjoyed the video. As always, thanks for watching. Coming at you just a little bit late today, but that's kind of normal with this particular series. Depends on when I get time to squeeze it in. So thanks for watching, and we will see you tomorrow.